What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is my dysfunctional review of the new Orbits 5th edition. Let's get into it. Alright, so what do we got? Unless you've been living under a rock your entire magician slash cardistry career, you know what these are. That's right. Chris Brown, or Chris Orbit Brown, not to get it confused with the singer, and the genius Daniel Schneider, who designed the deck, are back once again with the 5th edition out of the 10 that will be designed right here. Oh yeah. And just like last time, right out the gate, 23,000 were made and printed, and over 40% of the stock was gone within 24 hours. Not to be surprised, because it's Orbit. Everybody loves Orbits. Yeah, let's get into this. So, here on the tuck case, as you can see, they went with a really subtle color this time around. It's almost like I don't want to really say a turquoise, but it's not a baby blue either. It's not like it's more of a blue, but it's not. It's hard to explain, and the camera is definitely not giving it any kind of justice. Same with this. You know, this is like this orangish color. Same with that goes around the design, but we'll get into that in a minute. Here on the front, you have the huge O. You have Orbit real big. This nice, real nice matte tuck. And then it's almost like a meteor, which is pretty cool. I like how they went with this route. A little bit darker colorway in between to set it apart from the main blue. You have the white border that goes around, kind of medium-ish size. Like I said, you have the 5th edition out of the 10. You have the Orbit brown logo down there at the bottom. Here on the side, I'll get you zoomed in here. You got a little bit of ad copy. Distributed by orbitbrown.com. And like I said, illustrated by the man himself, Daniel Schneider, who's responsible for decks such as, you know, the whole Black Roses collection, which is his. You have the V1s, the V2s, and he just finished funding the Innocence deck, which I'll leave my review of here. It's a first sneak peek preview of. It's not even out, but it's phenomenal. So go check that out. Thank you. Here on the top of the tuck, like always, you got 23 for the 23,000 units that are printed. Here on the tuck, everything goes around to blend in. This actually says, the deeper you gaze, hold on, let me read this. The deeper you gaze into the cosmos, the harder it is to look back. Persist and endure. I don't know if you guys can pick that up. I'm trying to get you in there. It's very, very small. And then here on the inside of the tuck, you have the real nice bright orange. Like I said, it is actually the same orange that they used here almost. A little darker-ish because it sets against that blue. But it says, hashtag the Orbit deck at the Orbit deck if you want to follow them on Instagram. And then here at the very, 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 very bottom, it says we are Orbit. And then here, of course, can't miss these. On the tuck flaps themselves, you have the little spaceship and the Saturn. So yeah, beautiful tuck. That's it for the tuck case. Let's look at these cards, shall we? All right, so as always with Orbit decks, if you're familiar, you're going to get a lot of good cards with these decks. Let's get it going. So first and foremost, as always, you're going to get the world famous Orbit deck Jokers. A lot of people love these jokers. I love them. I think they're just amazing. You have the little spaceman there riding the bike, kind of pays homage to bicycle at the same time. You have the little 23 on the rock. Once again, that coincides with the decks that were made. Little circles here in each corner. Joker real big across the top. And unlike the last edition, the fourths, which was black and white, these are all in full color. He's got a little, here, let me get you a little closer here. He's got a little spade pip on his chest. And yeah, it's beautiful. And these are both original and identical jokers. Like I always say, great for sandwich effects and other magic tricks as well. You're also going to get, look at that beautiful card. Before we get into this, look at that card. I mean, look at this design. You got this nice thin poker border going around the edge line. My favorite feature of the deck, Daniel killed it. I mean, the whole deck is just beautiful. But this is really what stands out to me. And I'll show you that in a minute. When you do flourishes, fans, spreads, it just, man, it takes the whole flourish to a whole nother level. So like I said, you got the O, that's like you've seen on the fourths and the thirds and the set, all the orbits pretty much got this. And like I said, it looks kind of like a meteor breaking through. You got the orange highlights going around, little different colors to darken it up and soften it in other places as well. So yeah. But you're going to get a double backer. Like I said, great to have. And of course, you're going to get a duplicate. Who doesn't love duplicates? And if you can pick this up, you can see the blacks on both the spades and the clubs in the deck are like faded, which gives it a really cool look. I don't know if you can really tell really much. You can kind of see it right there. It's like a really dark gray almost, not a black. So pretty cool. So like I said, you're going to get that duplicate 8 of spades. So great to have. Let's look at the rest of this deck. All right. So, as always, this deck is printed by the United States Playing Card Company. They are on a thin crushed stock. They are also traditionally cut and have an air cushion embossed. Man, this deck feels great. So, let's get into it. Now, all your pips and indices are your complete standard for the most part. The only difference is they enlarged them, which is a great look. You don't see this often. The last time I seen this, and I'm not talking about a jumbo index, I'm talking about an enlarged pips. Last time I seen this was in the Phoenix deck, which I will be reviewing soon. They have 2 versions. They have the regular and the enlarged. It's like 50% enlarged. I don't think these are 50%. They're probably at about 25% enlarged, but still looks amazing. The quartz are your pretty much your Arco quartz, which Chris seems to like. But they also have a couple custom ones, and we'll point a couple of those out now. So, if you're familiar and watch Instagram and follow Orbit, you probably notice who this man is here. This is Mr. Sean O. Yeah. The man is a crazy, just great cardist. He does a lot of things for Orbit as well. And his editing skills are just out of this world. So shout out to him. I'll leave his Instagram down below. But Daniel just killed this deck, man. Look at this. Let me get this in close so you guys can actually see this detail. Come on. He actually put Sean O on the straps. How cool is that? Now, the only thing I do have a question about, and I'm going to have to reach out to Daniel about this, is if you look right here in the pen, it says 26 something. I can't really pick up on what it is or what it means. So if you guys, for some way, shape, or form know, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, I'd like to know. Like I said, same thing, just a standard Arco looking court. I love how they took the colorways from the blues and added it in and whatnot. This is another custom court. I don't know who this gentleman is. I do know that he has a lot of meaning and he means a lot to Chris. And that's why he adds him in the Orbit decks almost every time. Actually, I'm pretty sure it is every time. So, yeah. So there's your hearts. The clubs, pretty much nothing too crazy. The pips on these, I believe, are pretty much the same. If they are bigger, they're not much bigger. And see, this is another thing I love. See how they added like the blue for the faces and stuff? Like that's just amazing. I love that. I really love it. I don't know who this is. So if you guys know, once again, leave that down below. I was going to reach out to Daniel or Chris and see who all these people's names were in here that I didn't know, but I was so excited to get this review done and shot and put up. I just wanted to get it done. So yeah. So the Queen and King are your just regular standard courts. And then they did do the same thing as they did with the hearts, with the enlargement of the pips. As you can see, pretty big. I mean, it's a big difference. Let's see the courts. All right, there's the man himself, Chris Brown, or Chris Orbit Brown, as some say, which I usually do too, but so that way it isn't, misconstrued. But same with this one. I don't know who she is. I don't know if it's Chris's significant other or what, but as you can see, she's holding a spaceship, which is pretty awesome. I love the look of that. And the same thing with the reds. I mean, the reds are like a lot more bolder, and I love that. It's not like a burgundy or anything like that. So, great look. And then here, of course, your prominent ace as always. You're going to have the Ace of Spades, and it says persist and endure, the Orbit deck, theorbitbrown.com, another 23. Don't have to say it no more, but you have the huge spade pip, and on the inside you have this nice little depiction of a man on this moon or this planet looking at the planet Earth with the nice stargazing in the background. Really good, really good. So, like I said, real fainted black in the spades. And then there he is, Daniel Schneider, the man who illustrated this deck. I'll leave his information down below as well, guys. He's probably the hardest, not probably, he is the hardest working deck designer in the industry, hands down. Regular Arco court here, as far as I can see. No hidden agendas, inner clothing, or anything like that. And then once again, another standard court. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, this deck is just, it feels amazing. I mean, look at these fans with that line I was talking about that just goes around, and it just makes for the nicest spreads and fans, and just they feel so nice. They're so smooth, even on the edges, and it's just a good overall deck. I give this deck a 5 out of 5, hands down. I mean, it's got it all, and you can use it for Magic and cardistry, which is the best part about it. So, yeah. So, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications, or don't. Just hit subscribe and turn around. And if you want to follow me in the meantime over on Instagram, you can over at Dysfunctional Magician. Or if you want to follow me on Twitter, yes, Twitter, I finally have one, so you can catch me over there with all the fancy people twitting and tweeting. You can follow me at Dysfunctional R, or just type in Dysfunctional Reviews. I'm still new to the game, so go check me out and shoot me a follow. Much appreciated. I love each and every one of you guys. More stuff to come. I'm out of